Hey everyone, I am Anthony Scott at ToyHypeUSA.com. Today we are checking out the third box of the FanHome Street Fighter subscription, which includes 4 new figurines and 4 new magazines, which you see here, featuring issues 7, 8, 9, and 10. These magazines and the figurines include Sagat, Guile. You see Dhalsim and Zangief. And each one is going to cover different articles about the characters, different articles about Capcom, maybe some articles about video games, stuff like that. Really a lot of really good information in these, so we're going to take a look at those. Here's a look at the figurines inside the boxes. The packaging is the same as the first 2 boxes, and we're also going to be taking a look at these. I would like to thank FanHome for providing this box for review. Greatly appreciate that. Issue 7 features Sagat. And again, inside this magazine, you're going to have some information about the character, Capcom in general, and various other information. Going right into it, starts off with some information about Sagat on the first page here. And article continues. Also a bit of a bio, where he's born, the height, the weight, first appearance. And in this article, there's a lot of really good information. Continuing on, some retro gaming. And the pages are a little bit stuck together. All right, halfway through the magazine, you have this poster of Sagat, which you see here. Now you have some information about Street Fighter 2 Capcom Edition. So some really good images on here too. And some information about another Capcom game. This is Ghosts and Goblins, that you'll remember. I remember this was a very hard game to play back in the day. Fun game, but hard. And a continuation on that. And some more Sagat artwork on the cover there. And of course, the back of the magazine is just a Street Fighter logo. And don't forget, Sagat and the magazine are both numbered 7. So each figurine is going to be numbered with their magazine. Here's an in-hand look of the figurine. This is non-articulated and inspired from the classic video game. Hand-painted, and they really did a stellar job on it. A lot of really good attention to detail on him, especially the scar on his chest. You would see that the sculpting and the painting-wise is just really, really phenomenal on there. He also has sculpted textures and very nice detail on the wraps around his hands and ankles, which you see here. On his shorts, it says Tiger, which is painted in blue and red. A little bit of bleeding, which you see around here. And that's going to vary because these are hand painted at the factory. So you might get little things like that, but it's really no big deal. And let's bring it in for another look at that gorgeous head sculpt there. And of course, the bottom of the base has his name, Sagat. Issue number 8 features Colonel Guile, and you see artwork of him featured on the cover there. Going into it, it starts off with an article about the character. And a continuation of that. The artwork, as you can see, is really stellar, and I think they did a really nice job on it. Great article too. Definitely worth reading, especially if you're a gamer or action figure collector. Additional information, great images as well. the poster, which is halfway through the magazine here. New article, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Type Fighting. Gives you some information about the game, some additional characters, things like that, including the franchise. And here's a new article, Capcom enters the domestic market, the first games for NES, giving you a look at some of the very first games offered from Nintendo. And here's a look at a different article from Capcom's success with the NES, popular titles for the home market, which you see there. And of course, on the back here, you have more artwork of Colonel Guile. And the back of the magazine has the Street Fighter artwork. So Colonel Guile is numbered 8, and that's a look at him inside the box. Forgot to show you Sagat's, but the artwork on the sides and everything is the same as the other releases with the subscription. So the artwork's all the same there. Here's your in-hand look at the figurine. Great artwork. Again, this is all hand-painted, and especially the pants, I think they really did a stellar job on it. Not too many of these figurines come with their effects, but Colonel Guile does. So that's pretty neat, and you see it on both his hands, and you especially see that effect on the back there. He also has the American flags on his shoulders, which you get a better look at a top view there. And it looks like there's a little bit of residue or something on his face. I'll see if I can clean that off, but here's a look at that. Very nicely done. Top of the hair is flat with some texture on there. Also sculpted is his dog chain, which you see here. And of course, the bottom of the base has his name, Guile, on there. Up next is issue 9 featuring Dhalsim. And you see the number 9 right there, as well as artwork of him featured on the cover. First page is the same layout with an article of him as well as artwork. And a continuation of that. You also have an article here, information, and a bio. Here, this is a breakdown of his powers, some video game screen caps as well. And halfway through the magazine, you have a poster of the character with really nice artwork. And you also start off with a new character. The Ultimate Edition of Street Fighter 2 compiled the full contents of previous updates. Next article, it talks about Mega Man. And you also have some great artwork of him, excluding screen caps from the retro video game, as well as one of the newer ones on the bottom there. And another article from Mega Man. The success of Mega Man 2 saw the franchise established, which I didn't know. So that's a good little tidbit of information right there. And on the right, you have more artwork of Dhalsim. And of course, the back, you have the Street Fighter logo. And since Dhalsim is number 9, here's a look at the packaging form. Here's a look at the figurine. Again, these are all hand painted. And he has a flame coming out of his mouth that's featured in the game. Really nice paint apps. You also see the skeleton necklace around his neck here. Let's bring that in a little bit closer so you guys can see that. Nicely done deco on his face, the red stripes. He also comes in his yellow shorts, yellow shin guards on his legs, and bands on his wrists. And of course, the bottom of the base has his name, Dhalsim, on there, right there on the bottom. The final magazine in this box is Zangief, issue number 10, and you see the Street Fighter logo, his name, as well as artwork of him on the cover there. It's consistent throughout each magazine. Going into the first page, you have an article about Zangief. Also some really nice artwork, video game inspired. And a continuation of information about the character, including a lot of really good artwork from the video game. Also a bio on the right there. Continuation of information about him, including his special moves, stuff like that. And also you have some screen caps inspired from many different games. Halfway through the magazine, you have a poster of the character featuring some really nice artwork. And the next article, new article, Street Fighter Alpha in 1995, the first completely new SF since Street Fighter since Street Fighter 2 arrived. So a lot of really good information on here. And you have some more really nicely done artwork. More artwork from several different games throughout the Capcom run, including Captain Commando, which is a character that I haven't seen in a long time, which is this guy right here. And these articles are really good reads, so my recommendation would be to take your time, enjoy it. And a new article for Capcom with screen caps from one of their games. And on here, you have artwork of Zangief. The back features the Street Fighter logo. And again, Zangief is number 10, and that is going to be him in packaging right there. Here's your in-hand look at Zangief, non-articulated figurine. He's done really nicely. As you can see, he has those red X's on his thighs, shoulders, and arms. Facial expression, very nicely done. Facial details. He has his hair chest, which is sculpted on. He also comes in a yellow belt with spikes, little white spikes, red trunks, and red and yellow bands on his wrists there. He also has the red shoes with white laces and yellow around the top there. Since this is hand painted, you may have a little bit of imperfections, so it's going to vary by figure, as you can see on its back there. That's just a little bit of an imperfection right there. And of course, bottom of the base has his name on there, Zangief. Here's your in-hand look at all 4 figurines. Overall, these are phenomenal, great additions to the line, and I would like to thank FanHome for providing this box for review. I am Anthony Scott at ToyHappyUSA.com. My recommendation would be to subscribe, especially if you're a figurine, a gamer, a collector, and a player. I think you guys will love it. Also, these will go great with your Street Fighter collection. So make sure to subscribe. Use the link off of toyhackusa.com or right below on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more coverage.